Democrats at their national convention continue to embarrass themselves with hypocrisy, racism, abandoning the border. Welcome to Doug in Exile. This is where the happy patriots are, because every time one of these Democrats speak, they just destroy themselves. They're in charge, and whatever they're complaining about, it's their fault. If you're watching this on Rumble, X, YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Thanks for supporting us. Let's go.
She's in the White House right now. Democrats have controlled the White House for 12 of the last 16 years. And for all of the talk about division and the problems in the country and people are hurting, Democrats have mostly controlled this country. Trump had it for 4. The Obamas and Biden had it for the rest of the time. And somehow, it's still all Trump's fault, and somehow she hasn't been at the center of it.
How did CNN let a Republican on their network? Someone's getting fired.
Billionaires in both parties should not be able to buy elections, including primary elections.
Ouch, that's Bernie Sanders destroying his own Democrat Party for working him out of the primary election, stole it from him, because that's the only evidence we have of democracy being on the ballot is what the Democrats have done to their own people. It's not just Bernie Sanders, it's also RFK Jr.
I have to say there's only one party that has obstructed a fair election for us. And unfortunately, it was the Democratic Party. They've done everything they can, including creating PACs to prevent us from being able to have ballot access.
How can you work to get someone off a ballot and still say that democracy is in danger because of Trump? They're literally removing this Victoria and RFK off the ballot, which is triggering him coming around, and rumors are leaking that he is supporting Trump, and Trump is going to give him a cabinet position, which could help some percentages boost Trump up, because RFK has been taking some of Trump's votes.
The DNC aligned PACs are suing us to get us off the ballots right now. These are frivolous lawsuits.
Here's Kamala with her bizarre theory on the police that is also a massive hypocritical statement.
A big part of this conversation really is about reimagining how we do public safety in America.
Forget her word salad. I'm just going to show you a clip of the police work out security outside of the Democrat National Convention. I'm just going to put the video of her lecturing you over her own policemen protecting the DNC from their rioters.
We have confused the idea that to achieve safety, you put more cops on the street.
They had to put more cops on the street in Chicago than ever before to create safety for the DNC.
Instead of understanding to achieve safe and healthy communities, you put more resources into the public education system of those communities, into affordable housing, into home ownership, into access to capital for small businesses, access to health care regardless of how much money people have. That's how you achieve safe and healthy communities.
So instead of loading up their streets with police, why didn't they offer more health care, more education? Because you hire police if you want better security, you moron.
She and my father didn't aspire to be wealthy. In fact, they were suspicious of folks who took more than they needed.
Michelle Obama's parents were suspicious of people who took more than they needed. Here's the New York Post with Michelle Obama earns nearly $750,000 for a 1-hour speech. That's in a report. Here's the houses that the Obamas, they have a net worth of $70 million. Remember, she did all those Netflix deals too. They own 4 luxurious properties in Washington, D.C. home bought for $8 million. Martha's Vineyard home bought for $11 million. Beachfront home in Hawaii bought for $8 million. Chicago home bought for $1.6 million. If that's not the definition of having more than you need, and by the way, I don't care who buys what. If it's your money, you go buy it. That's capitalism. But she's against what she's doing, because if that's not the definition of taking more than you need, maybe she can explain why she needs all these homes, why she needs $70 million. If that's what she means by not taking more than you need, I hope all Americans get the same treatment, and she considers them as not taking more than we have needed.
We can secure our borders without tearing kids away from their parents.
Of course, that's Obama who built all the cages. Remember the meme of AOC weeping in front of a fence when it was under Trump. Those cages were built by Obama. Talk about separating children that happened on Kamala's watch, who Obama is right now advocating for. Here's the Trump war room. The DHS Inspector General revealed today that 291,000 children who crossed the border illegally under border czar Kamala are unaccounted for. Here's the libs of TikTok. Remember in 2020 when Kamala Harris called 545 migrant children missing parents a quote stain on our national character. This was because it was under Trump. 545 kids. A new DHS report out today says hundreds of thousands of migrant kids are missing under the Biden-Harris administration when Kamala was the border czar. Here's Tulsi Gabbard explaining what you just saw.
Really, Jesse, it was exposing her for her hypocrisy. She is a typical politician who will say one thing and do another. Rules for thee, but not for me.
They can't cover up for Kamala enough. And just remember, when they make a moral statement, they never mean it. What they mean is give us power and ignore what we do. Here's the U.S. Department of Homeland Security Office Inspector General from May of this year, more than 291,000 kids missing. That is, they got away. That bottom line right there. ICE has no assurance UCs are safe from trafficking, exploitation, or forced labor. Welcome to the new America under Kamala Harris. This is their idea of morality. There's Kamala Harris's tweet, 545 children. This is under Trump. This is outrageous and a stain on our national character. Families belong together. Here's Stephen Miller. This is one of the biggest domestic policy scandals in the history of developed nations. Biden and Harris trafficked and have now lost almost 500,000 migrant children. But remember, the Democrats care about the children, as Michelle Obama reminds us.
She believed that all children, all people have value.
And that's why they had a minivan at the DNC providing women's health care.
That's still the glaring hole in this campaign that hasn't yet been solved at the convention. How do you explain all of the problems that will be solved by the person who is currently in there for the last 3.5 years, who is supposed to already be working on solving it?
Look at these dumbstruck Democrats just staring. They have no answer to that because those are facts. That's actual reason. That's not emotion. That's not a lie. It's like, Kamala, you're in charge. You're in charge right now. Biden's not in charge. What are you doing? She's going, just look forward, everyone. Don't look at today. The grossest thing coming up right here is this blatant racism.
Inclusive America is actually the road we're heading down, and that the sort of white patriarchal society that allowed Donald Trump to profiteer as much as he has.
She blames Trump's success on him being white, by the way, as she's surrounded by white people all over the DNC. Without white liberals, you cannot have diversity, equity, and inclusion pushed by the rich elites. This is not a grassroots, ground-up organization. This is marketing. It has nothing to do with your skin color, and it's disgusting that she's talking this way. It is so against the great civil rights leaders that wanted you to judge people on their character and not the color of their skin.
Is going into the rear view, right? That's a powerful, distressing idea if you are part of the white patriarchy like Donald Trump.
That's insane, and that's disgusting as a white person. She is a racist and foul. But it's also funny because Republicans love diversity of race. We don't care. We celebrate conservative people of all races and backgrounds. What the left does not want is any minority who steps out of line from their ideology. They will be canceled and they'll be treated like a white patriarch.
And supporters who see change, who see people like Barack Obama, who see people like Kamala Harris, multi-ethnic, multiracial, progressive leaders, and are scared of that vision, right? The idea that this might be the norm and that Trumpism and MAGAism.
I couldn't hear you over the thousands of white elites walking around behind you. If you like this content, give us a follow. I'm Doug in Exile.